take.
We are joined by another legend of our own in the H&N building right now. Just to give you guys a little bit of background info, Hanli Prinsloo is a free diver. She's also an ocean conservationist. She's the founder of the I Am Water Foundation, which basically aims to educate people around the world when it comes to ocean conservation. So we are super excited to have her in the H&N building. Hanli, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
By the way, salute on all that you do. I literally have so much respect for you and what you do. Like anything that involves water and diving deep underground and possibly not being able to breathe just completely scares me. So salute to you and for everything that you do. You know, for those at home that may not know, what exactly is free diving and what does it entail?
So freediving is a competitive sport where you dive as deep as possible underwater on one single breath of air. So it's basically like being a mermaid.
All right, interesting. And you're not only, you know, a free diver, you're also a motivational speaker and a yoga instructor. How do you find time to balance everything? And you know, do you take from the other to sort of give to the other as well? How do you balance that?
So for me, it really is about living the things I'm passionate about. And I love with yoga connecting with my breath, increasing my lung volume, which feeds into my freediving. My freediving experiences, both within record breaking, but also diving with big animals, creates material for the motivational speaking I do.
Right.
So for me, it really is about finding all those things I'm passionate about and then seeing how I can craft that into a daily life and a career.
Yeah, fantastic. And this week on the show, right, we are focusing on the brain. And you know what they say, a healthy body equals to a healthy mind and vice versa. How important is this for you? You know, how do you keep yourself healthy and motivated towards achieving your goals? Because I mean, I'm sure there are challenges and difficulties along the way, yes?
Absolutely. Freediving as a sport is a very mental sport. And what you think literally affects your body. So it will raise your heart rate and you'll use more oxygen, which will be a problem if you're at depth. So controlling your mind is almost more important than controlling your body. And I think there's so much focus these days on the body and we forget how important the mind is and how much the mind influences the well-being of the body. And I think that the more we connect those, mind and body, the healthier we are. Yes,
absolutely. And you venture into unknown territory a lot. I mean, we know more about space than we do about the ocean these days, so it can get pretty intense. Do you ever get scared? What are the scariest or most challenging moments that you've had, you know, in your career?
So, as a competitive freediver and going really deep underwater, that was never really that scary for me because you do it in a slow progression, so you prove to yourself what you're capable of doing and that you can go deeper. Lately, I focus more on swimming with big animals, so I dive with whales, sharks, manta rays, dolphins, and people often believe that the shark would probably be the most dangerous animal I've met in the ocean, but I found that the most dangerous creature I can possibly meet in the ocean is myself. And again, that's got to do with not in that moment controlling your mind. And on a deep dive once, I had an experience where the lights down there at the very depth, it was at 60 meters in a fjord, so it was very black. They hadn't changed the batteries on the torches. And when I got to the bottom and opened my eyes, I thought I had gone blind. And in that moment, I made a decision that I didn't want to go back up to the surface if I'm going to be blind. And so I was starting to let go of the rope to drop into the depths and basically give up on life. And
you temporarily were defeated. You kind of gave up there for a moment.
I did. And it was all in my mind. It was because of batteries in torches. And I decided that I would happily swim back up again and get a guide dog because I love dogs.
I am so glad you did.
And so I swam back up, and when I got to the surface, the light came back in and the organizer said to me, you know, like, I think we forgot to change the batteries. And that's the day I realized we don't have to believe everything we think.
Absolutely. Oh man, thank you so much for actually pointing that out. You have definitely motivated me right here. But you know, you've been your biggest motivator. You have a record, you have 11 titles, is it, in freediving? You hold the South African record right now. Please talk to us about that experience. You know, how did you get to achieving those goals?
Well, it started with me with finding that from my childhood dreams of wanting to be a mermaid, it turns out that all that time I spent underwater in the pool and in the bath obviously built a bit of talent. So I started competing and found out that I could break records, and I got fascinated with my own body to see how deep can I go, how long can I hold that breath, what's actually possible in the human body. And for a long time that motivated me. And then as I started traveling the world and diving in different places and with different animals, the motivation shifted from the competition and the records to trying to protect those ecosystems that I was exploring and the animals that live in them. So today, I'm not motivated anymore by competing or being the best. I'm motivated to protect the ocean in any way I can. And in I Am Water, we do that through sharing the ocean with people, because once you've experienced something and you love it, you protect it.
Yes, absolutely. And I can definitely see the passion as you are talking about it. And you've achieved, I mean, you also are the CEO of your own I Am Water Foundation, which is fantastic. You know, can you just talk to us a little bit about that quickly, because we have run out of time. But do you want to just quickly share?
Yeah, I think that everybody should have access to the ocean. It's our last great wilderness, and we try to introduce people to that wilderness.
Yes, thank you so much for that, and thank you so much for coming to the show. It was such a pleasure. Hanli Prinsloo, everybody, please show her some love on Facebook and Twitter. The hashtag is Brain Week on Facebook and Twitter.
Hectic.